Hi, I'm Amin, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in December 2024. And welcome to my journey to break free from this disease. Ever since I've been diagnosed, I've been following a few things and adopting a lifestyle that has been improving my life drastically. And just if you're wondering what benefits am I really getting, well, it's not even been a year and a half, and I'm already seeing that my skin's getting more clear and my stress has reduced a lot. And I'm becoming much more positive. Negativity has reduced a lot in me, and all my junk food cravings reduced a lot. I'm able to think more clearly and more smarter and faster, which therefore allows me to solve life problems more quickly and effectively. And my immune system has gotten much better. I In 2024, I only remember getting sick once, and it was a slight cold. And even if I get sick, it goes away really quickly. But the point of me saying this is not to tell you guys that I'm only here to help you and completely change your lives. Although I would love to, and I will. But I'm just showing you guys my journey, and meaning my progress and improvement and problems and setbacks I will face, be in the next year or next 7 years. I don't know. I will literally try to tell you guys as much as I can about how we're managing T1D and how my conditions are progressing, and whatever I learn myself, whatever valuable information I get myself and from someone who's guiding me and mentoring me with over 20 years of research and experience. So without further ado, let's get into how this started. So right before I got diagnosed with T1D, I was studying at a boarding school, and I only came home 3 times a year for a few weeks. And when I came home for Thanksgiving break in November, I noticed that I was going to the bathroom much more often. And this was a symptom of T1D, meaning frequent urination, which at that moment I didn't know. But at that moment, I ignored it and really didn't care much. I thought it'll go away. And that's why it's so important to notice and take these things very seriously. And on the last Friday, before I was about to go back to the boarding school out of my home state, I remember I had a very large meal. Right after the meal, I remember using the bathroom like several times within an hour of eating, and like 3 to 4 times. And that's not normal, right? But I still overlooked the clear symptom because at that moment I didn't know. By the way, here are the symptoms that you might experience before getting diagnosed with type T1D, or anyone. And if someone you know is experiencing one or more of these, or yourself, then please don't take this lightly and go to the hospital immediately. So back to the story. I was peeing a lot, which meant my body wasn't storing the energy from all the food I was eating. And man, I was eating so much food, like 2 to 3 meals, full of rice and meat and chicken, etc. But still, I was still kind of skinny and wasn't gaining much muscle even after working out a lot. And I later understood why after the person who was guiding me explained this. So, so I had to go back to the boarding school, and classes started. And guess what? I was still constantly urinating. Well, not in my pants, but I was going to the bathroom a lot, too often. And this was disturbing my class routine, and my teachers were getting pissed. So I had to tell my parents on phone because I was out of state for the boarding school. And luckily, my uncle was there. So he said that this is definitely not right, and that I should check up at a nearby clinic or hospital as soon as possible. A clinic in that state. So the next day, like after 2 hours of eating lunch, I went to a nearby clinic, and guess what? My sugar was around 365 mgdl, and my sugar in urine was 2000, around 2000. And the doctors were like, whoa. They called my parents and told them in the clinic, and for some reason they couldn't do my treatment over there because of some insurance thingy, I don't know. So I had to come back home. And when I landed at the airport, I went immediately to the hospital, and we stayed there in the ER for emergency for around like 3 hours. They did all the testing, and then I was shifted to I think you call it the holding room. I don't know, but I stayed there, and then I stayed in the holding room for around the whole night. And that's when one of my relatives who was with me in the monitoring room privately called one of the guys he knew, who helped him with some health problems and significantly improved his conditions. This person also helped some of the members of my family. So this person is basically a master in type 2 diabetes. So my relative told this person about my condition and said that the hospital said I most likely have type 1 diabetes. So he said send him all the results of the tests after the hospital sends it to us, and he'll check them thoroughly and then call us later. After that, I was moved to the actual patient room, and my doctor came and told me how to manage type 1 diabetes and all about it and blah blah blah. So I stayed there for about 3 days just to learn and get used to the life of a type 1 diabetic. Syringes, insulin, what else? Carb ratio, Dexcom, meals. Sounds annoying, right? But that's what I'm here for, to see if there's another way with type 1 diabetes. Then I finally came back home and started eating sandwiches, snacks, cookies, and some junk food, obviously with insulin, until that guy, who's now someone who guides and helps me, called, and he told my parents. And he told my parents I have to come on a strict diet, which is one of the best, if not the best diet in the world. It literally consists of so many various foods that literally nourish you and your body, your brain, your mind, your eyes, your skin, your looks, you name it. And he also told us to cut down all the junk food and processed food and refined sugars and unhealthy oils and certain specific foods that were affecting my pancreas. And by the way, I'm going to be making videos on all these topics, like benefits of each food I eat, harms of certain foods, and blood sugar, etc. You can always comment below what topic I should talk about next. But remember, I prefer and prioritize answering people who subscribe to me first. Like literally, it takes a second, right? So don't be that grumpy person and just subscribe. It really helps. So now it's been almost 1.5 years since I've been following that diet. And this is just the start. Just imagine if I'm already seeing so many benefits in just 1.5 years, how much I'm going to improve in the next 5 to 7 years. At first, I was kind of tired of this diet, right? But after a few days, my body literally stopped craving junk food. I rarely crave junk food and unhealthy food nowadays. And healthy food can be very tasty, man. And what I find ironic and strange is that healthy food can be actually very tasty, believe it or not. And people think it's all bland and untasty, and that's not true. You just need to know how to make them very tasty. And that's why I'm going to be sharing some of the best recipes that I have with you guys that are very healthy and nutritious, and there's not a drop of unhealthiness in it, and I find them extremely delicious. So long story short, this is my journey that I'm going to be sharing with you guys uh, for the next couple of years to see if there's another way with T1D, type 1 diabetes. And this journey could be as little as 1 year, or it could stretch out to 7 or even 10 years. I really don't know. But look, I'm only 16 right now, and it's been only less than 1.5 years since I've been following this diet and adopting a healthy lifestyle with various things I do, and many of them are universal and can be followed by a lot of people. Although I won't share specific things because I don't want everyone to follow them, because everybody is different. I've already told you guys the tremendous benefits I'm getting, like clearer skin, sharper thinking. I rarely get sick, meaning better immune system, a healthy weight, less stress, and much more. And it's only been 1.5 years, bro. So I'm really hopeful and optimistic about this journey, and I think it's gonna be life-changing. I mean, it's already life-changing, man. So listen, I'm gonna be documenting and telling you guys how I'm exactly managing T1D, and exactly what I eat and what happens to my blood sugar after eating it, meaning the highs and lows. And I'm gonna be taking the Dexcom. I'm gonna be taking photos of it, and then I'm gonna be showing it to you guys. Although I can't take a screenshot, but I'll just like take it from another phone or something like that. What works, what doesn't, and just real updates, and much more. And I'm also gonna be sharing all the healthy recipes, and most importantly, all things I learn about from the person who's guiding me with over 20 years of research. So if you guys want to know how I'm literally winning over T1D and managing it, and most importantly building an extremely healthy body and mind, then stick around and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And make sure to subscribe. There's no other disease worse than not subscribing to me. And if you don't, you need to check up with the doctor. Look, it's only been a year. Let's see where this journey takes us.